This is your content warning from emetophobia. As in the discussion for the first monster of this episode, Joe, Cleric, and our guest speak frequently about vomiting. Timestamps for the first section will be in the show notes.
As a disclaimer, Monster Fuckers Anonymous is indeed about wanting to love and have sex with monsters, but we want to make things extremely clear from the get-go. The monsters we will be selecting will be sentient and able to consent. Not all of the chosen monsters will be sapient, but we will not be endorsing zoophilia or bestiality. Anthropologically, monsters all around the world and media representations of them have had many racial and sociological implications. We will be as transparent and ethical as possible, while also sex positive and mostly having fun.
Monsters. Creatures feared all around the world in folklore and myths. Terrifying beings such as the fiendish and frightening fae, demonic devils, sultry sirens, hazardous harpies, and countless chaotic creatures coming from crevices of every continent. As long as stories have existed, there's been one pressing question that has remained unanswered by scholars for generations. One powerful thought that has plagued our minds for millennia. Can we fuck these monsters? That is what we're here to find out today. Welcome to Monster Fuckers Anonymous.
Pussy about it, Joe. I'm asking you to start the recording.
You didn't say start the recording. You literally said, can you do something about it? And I'm not doing anything in particular. I don't know what the fuck you're going to
do. Welcome to MFA, everybody. Hello, one and all, to another fantastic episode of MFA, aka Monster Fuckers Anonymous, a show where we talk about monsters, talk about the lore, talk about everything about them, and rate them on a scale of 10 on whether or not you, yes, you listening, you with those headphones in your ears, should be having sex with those monsters. Some are good, some are bad, some are mid, but all of them are sexy. I am your colorful creature consulting cleric, and with me, as always, is the amazing, the incomparable, the piece of shit, Joe.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Incomparable piece of shit.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
We've started with an energy already, and the guest is just kind of sitting here like a divorced a child of a divorce.
I think a lot of people have sort of referred to us as like divorced parents who have forced to have like our children be in our mediating calls.
Yes, very much so. This is our court therapy, like
our court mandated therapy session. Actually, you know, that's a perfect segue. As we're sitting here in our court, no, I'm not going to do that.
What?
That's not going to be it. That's not going to be our Q&A. That's not going to be
okay.
it. I don't even know where to go from here.
What's up? What's wrong?
No. I'm just like, well, Joe, I really want to talk about MFA today. You know, I really want to talk about a monster. So, do you have a description for us for what we're talking about today?
So I was a little busy. Before choosing. Do
you want to figure this out? Do you want to finish your words out? Come on.
I was putting my makeup on, and when I looked at the time, you know.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I also didn't think of anything, but whoa, wait a second. Is there a portal opening up next to me? And are me and Joe getting sucked in? Whoa, are we in this weird forest? Why is there a generator in front of me? And whoa, is that a killer? But who? No, that's not a killer. It's PrincexCalamity?
Oh, whoa. Hey, yeah, that's me. Hello.
Calamity, do you want to tell the people who you are and where we are?
Yes. So my name is PrincexCalamity. My pronouns are she, they, content creator, game developer, writer. And we are I just realized I forgot literally all the maps in Dead by Daylight. I promise this was actually one of my main content pieces for like a year, and I can't think of what any of the maps are, but we're in one of them.
We're in Pussy Village.
We're in Pussy Village, the Dead by Daylight map.
That's my favorite one.
Favorite one. So yeah, we're actually creepy ambiance playing in the background. Today, we're talking all Dead by Daylight. The killers, the murderers, those who rip us apart in the night for the entity. I say that. I know nothing about Dead by Daylight. I literally watched like 3 lore videos for this.
I feel like you know a considerable amount.
I watched
it.
So, It was an hour long. It was an hour-long lore video. So I watched 30 minutes of it. So, Calamity, what draws you to Dead by Daylight? Why do you want to talk about it?
So I am actually not really big on horror stuff. Growing up, I didn't get to experience it a lot, and Dead by Daylight was kind of my first entry into kind of experiencing a lot of that stuff and learning about a lot of like the classic monsters, or classic-ish, I guess, monsters, depending on what your definition of classic is. But yeah, that was kind of my first introduction into like lore. And that's one of the first times I realized, or like monster lore. And that's why I kind of like realized I really, really love like monster lore. And, even though I'm not the greatest at playing horror games, I will watch them like nobody's business because I just really enjoyed like hearing about the creatures and where they came from and like their stories. I love that stuff so much, but playing them, not so much. Dead by Daylight was like the one that I actually could. I'm trying to think. Like the only other one is Phasmophobia, but I have to play it with other people. So that's like the one horror game I can actually play.
Yeah. It is always like horror is so interesting in concept, but like the experience is like the hard part.
Yes.
Yeah.
As everyone who listens to this show will know, me and Joe are humongous bitches when it comes to horror.
Mm-hmm.
Like the moment anything scary comes out, the two of us will run away. We will be the people who like, as soon as like something goes thump in the night, would leave. Like we're not staying for this whole experience to get haunted. It's not happening. We're getting up and we're going. But talking about horror and how big their dicks are is always fun.
Oh yeah.
So, if you sexualize something, it's not scary anymore.
Honestly, so true. Why do you think they're coming out with a dating sim for Dead by Daylight? So
yeah,
they came out with the dating sim.
It's out.
Yes.
Yeah, let's play that on stream.
No, yeah, I think we have to.
I'm done to play that on stream.
Oh yeah.
New MFA stream coming soon.
No, literally.
No. This is it. This is the announcement.
Yay.
But as the show works, we're each going to talk about a killer or a monster from Dead by Daylight. I brought one, Joe brought one, Calamity brought one, and we're going to talk about it here, rate them on a scale of 1 to 10 on our Popo scale, and figuring out which one is the best one for you. Yes, you listening to get railed by.
Oh my God.
Do y'all mind if I start today, this episode? No?
Oh?
I said that I don't mind. I said no, I don't mind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Wow. Sometimes you need to be clear with your words because I have low self-esteem. And I
yeah?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Well.
Mm-hmm. The silence. Just Kaz, add crickets in that middle of that silence. Just add crickets.
The sound of someone getting hooked.
Yeah, actually that sound. The sound play Dead by Daylight. Get the sound bite.
It has to be Steve's hooking of all of them because it's the most ridiculous yell that I've ever heard in my entire life. It's beautiful. I'll have to send y'all a video.
Yes, please.
Gorgeous.
Okay, so let's do. All right. So with that out of the way, let's start off. I'm picking a killer that I think is hot. I think is sexy. I think is, one might say, sick, and that is the plague. A diarist was raised by priests at the temple who took her in, assisting in all of their rituals. Soon a plague began to ravage the city, affecting even the holy men in their temple walls. A diarist, one of the sole uninfected, began to perform the rituals to stave off the disease, praying to the gods for salvation. As her prayer began to be answered, the people began to call her the High Priestess of Babylon. But this did not last. Soon she too began to succumb to the illness. As she offered up one last prayer to the gods, she disappeared, either ascended to a higher or lower plane.
I want to ask something.
What is it, Joe? What do you want to ask me?
So we were talking about psychosexualizing horror and thus fears and thus like real life events such as perhaps something akin to a plague that we are all experiencing. Is this your method of psychosexualizing the coronavirus?
I want to dig down COVID.
Okay. That's good to know. We're all on the same page.
Well, actually, I was on the opposite end. Julie, I was while I was psychosexualizing something, it wasn't disease. It was my religious trauma. Because she is a priestess. Mm-hmm. She grew up religious, just like me. She's just like me for real. She grew up in the church. She ended up murdering her priest father figure because he was like, I don't believe in Jesus no more. I don't believe in the gods anymore. And he was like, get out his eyes. And then, sometimes we have to fuck religion in order to feel better, you know?
Mm-hmm. What?
No, I think it was pretty clear. If we fuck our fears, then our fears can't fuck with us.
Checks out.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
She also vomits a lot.
Yeah.
So what you're doing in the Dead by Daylight, the Pussy Village, you are literally popping your pussy as soon as she comes up. You're just legs spread open.
Yeah. See,
vomits on your dick, and then so sorry.
No.
This show is a mistake every time. Every time we record. Every time.
I'm gonna watch a video of her vomiting. Hang on.
There's no point. There's no point in doing.
I want to see her fighting style. She's very hard.
I mean, she makes me very hard. You know what I'm saying, gamers?
Hey yo. Hey yo. No, but she is hot. Like it's undeniable. She's hot.
No, she's hot. So she's very caring. I want to describe.
She's very caring. That's how I'm getting out of this.
I want to describe her. Hold on, everyone.
Yes, please. I'm sorry.
Get away from the generator as I explained. Get away from the generator as I explained.
Okay, sorry.
You push your mic away. From her lore standpoint, she cares so much about the people that she literally was like sacrificing parts of her body. She was so like, she became the high priestess because of how much she cared and wanted to like Babylon to thrive and want all that. She cared. She's a caring, loving person. She cared so much that when she got infected, she knew that the people needed like a figure, someone to like believe in. So she started wrapping herself up, like covering her scent of like the infection so she could still be the inspiration that the people of Babylon needed. And when she was fully succumbing to her disease, she and a few of her very devout followers left the city. Like, should have just left Babylon and went to a cave. And as they were all dying, she offered up one last prayer to be like, yo, take me. I'll do whatever you need me to do in order to stave off the infection from Babylon. And then she was taken by the entity, and now she kills, not because she wants to, but because she thinks that was what staved off, like that's her penance for protecting Babylon and saving off the disease, is now she has to do this for all eternity. She still believes, she's still a good carry person, but she understands, like, I have to do this for the penance that I had to do in order to cure the city. So my vocalization of her, in what I think she is, I think she's loving. I think she's caring. She's going to take care of me. If I get sick, she's going to pray to the gods in order to even like hurt, like to make sure I'm okay. She'll do what she needs to do for me. And honestly, that kind of like that kindness, that like lovingness, you can't get that from a lot of psycho killers. You really can't. She'll murder for me.
You could probably get it from like a Mormon.
Are they Joe's wrong? Like, is Joe wrong?
I think Joe is wrong. I mean, like, are you?
Why is a cultist girlfriend that thinks she's doing? She vomits on you. She says this is for the best.
Okay, here's what I'll say. This is my description, and this is
yes.
We're gonna get a little bit graphic here, everyone. So I'm so sorry.
Okay.
One is that's just a yandere in anime. And I've always been attracted to those types. And two,
that makes sense.
Who doesn't love sloppy head?
I mean, okay, but like, I have a question. This is now I'm thinking about the logistics of head. I feel like there are many occasions where someone's gag reflex might be triggered or whatever. I've only heard of people sucking dick getting the urge to throw up, and it happens. What happens with the vom? What's the situation with putting the plague's mouth on my pussy? Like.
Well, she's not for you, Joe. You ever think about that? That maybe this isn't a people for you.
Okay, so the whole fuck the podcast. This is what Cleric likes. This is
okay. No. I'm gonna pause it right here. Don't act like half these episodes haven't been. It's only for me. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. Nobody else but me. Joe, me. I sit here trying to make logical arguments. I do one thing for me. And suddenly, oh, fuck the podcast. Podcast doesn't even matter anymore. All right, Calamity, how do you feel? Calamity, break the tie for us right now.
Yeah, Calamity. Sloppy head. That's the question right now.
If the question is sloppy head, can understand the appeal. Like, completely understand how that could be. I guess I should have like prefaced this with like, I'm on the ace spectrum.
Same.
Actually, okay. I didn't know if like that was something we should clarify. But can appreciate like the idea of sloppy head. Sounds great. In theory. However, my thought is if she is like able to projectile vomit on command, that means she would actually probably have pretty good control over her gag reflex.
That I understand, and I get that.
I mean,
my
actually,
counterpoint is, should I want her to do it? I'm gonna be like, baby, get it.
You're disgusting.
So I must say, I learned about Vommy Mommy, my experience with, as she is affectionately called. My experience with Vommy Mommy was that I saw her and I was like, oh my gosh, I love her. She's beautiful. Slay me.
Beautiful.
And then she projectile vomited and I literally could not function for the rest of the game. This is one of those killers where if they are the killer, I'm like, I'm not going to win. It's just not going to happen because every time like she vomits on you, cause you know, it's like bad, right? Like it's not good vomit. It's not normal. It's like acidic and disintegrates your vision and you literally have to like go wash your face in a special basin in order to get it off.
Oh,
yes, these are, I understand this, but what relationship doesn't have hurdles, you know? And if I keep the basin right next to me while we have sex and I just sprinkle that on me while we're doing it, it's all good.
it's like the poison wells in Hades, like in the last floor or whatever.
Yeah. I get it. Like I definitely get it. Cause when I saw her was like, oh my gosh, my wife.
No, yeah. She's beautiful.
She threw up on me and I was like, I don't know how I feel about this anymore.
Okay. All right. She's the whole package. What, you're going to knock one thing just cause she'll occasionally throw up on you and infect you with a deadly disease. Sure. Sure. Yeah, that's a problem, but she's tall. She's got an ass. She's going to be fucking caring and loving to you. She's going to pray to the gods for you. Will she murder you if you're even remotely agnostic? Probably. But hey, who hasn't done religious killings? And I can't. Sorry.
So true. I will say, in Darkest Dungeon, the leper design, also a hot guy. Honestly, there's something about the like. Well, although the plague isn't faceless, there's just like something about the like masked aspect that's like very cool. But also, they're dying. Like there's a disease that is also literally plaguing their bodies. But that's not necessarily a rule breaker.
It's not.
No, not a rule breaker. Just an interesting hurdle.
Yeah.
I just keep looking at those claws, so I won't lie.
I know.
There are hurdles to love every time. And I'm willing to jump them for the right person. Which is why
I thought, is this supposed to be love? Or are we just
like to think sometimes about love, you know?
Oh my God. We have to let's talk about the possibility. I can't hear Cleric talk about love anymore.
All right, Joe. All right, shoot down my love. Okay.
Yeah. So, yikes. In the realm of possibility, is this literally like we are survivors?
Yeah. So that's where I think we have to take this because again, this is all like we've been abducted. We're currently abducted by the entity. We're in Dead by Daylight. Can this work? The answer for the plague, I think, is a low possibility.
Mm-hmm.
The reason being, 1, she is a killer. 2, she is devoted to the entity, so convincing her to be like, basically, hey, your god's cool, but my dick is cooler, not really going to work, you know?
Right.
And I think it's just very difficult to kind of convince. Plus, like you said, being near her and getting vomited on will give you an illness that will possibly kill you in a short amount of time. So that also lowers the possibility. I'm going to give this a 3.
I'm going to hear what Calamity score is.
So I see your point. I actually kind of want to make it a little higher.
Okay.
I feel like maybe a 4, just because like possibility, because there are some killers like when you play who are just gonna stare at you and not actually try to kill you. So if it's one of those situations, like if you're one of those killer players, I don't know. I'm thinking of like actually being in the game, to be fair. Though I will say this is a killer that doesn't actually pop up a whole lot from my experience. This is one of the killers that I don't see as much.
Like hard to play, hard to beat situation.
Yeah. Like if you are against them, it's either going to be an easy escape because the player does not know what they're doing, or you're screwed. I would say a 4. I'd say a 4. I could see a 4. 3 feels a little low for me.
Wow. Just shitting on my fucking score?
I'm not.
All right, let's just move on. You know, Joe shits on my love, you shit on my score, whatever. Joe?
Yeah, of course. This is really hard because I mean, even conceptualizing me being a survivor, I think first of all, I would be a useless survivor because I can't run fast. Don't know how to deal with generators. Don't know what all their, can't really rescue. Don't really have the sleight of hand. But in the case that the plague is just genuinely like the fastest thing about her is her projectile vomit. I mean, I would probably be attempting to run towards. I'll say 4 as well.
All right. I think it's pretty fair. Now, attractiveness, how attractive the plague is. That's an 8. I think it's an 8. I've listed all the reasons she's attractive to me. I think I've said it I've been hollering it, so I want to know what you guys think after everything.
No, she's beautiful. I think an 8 is perfect.
Yeah, stunning. I kind of even want to give her a 9. Like,
Calamity, if you want to,
I think she's hot.
More fucking time.
I just listen. Look at her though.
No,
like,
she's hot.
Out of all the characters, the outfit on the plague is just truly the best. The outfit, the look, the backstory. I don't know.
Not she hot.
The vomiting though.
That can be an audacity. I think this is just her physical appearance and her personality, which I've described. You know.
In that case, an 8. Yeah. Okay. I'll go with it. Yeah. In that case, just physical appearance, ignoring the fact that projectile vomits on you. Okay. 8's fine.
All right. So then we're going to go to audacity, how audacious it is to even attempt to be with this monster.
She's covered in disease.
She's covered in disease. This is true. Also, wait, I just found a picture. Hold on. I might actually bump this up to a 9. I just saw a picture without the headdress and everything.
Oh, when she was not diseased.
Yeah. That's a 9.
Yeah.
That's a straight 9.
For attractiveness?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's not how she is now. Like you're not
right.
taking her as
you're right. You know what? That's on me.
I mean?
That's on me being superficial.
Yes.
You're right. I'll keep it. I'll keep it at the 9 because even after everything, I love it. No, I'm gonna be the one up. I want to be you now.
Okay.
But audacity. This is a pretty audacious thing to do. I think.
Yeah. She's covered in disease.
She's covered in disease. Any killer in this game is like, because you have to try to convince a killer to love you and to want to have sex with you, which is a lot to do, genuinely, in a high stress situation like this is.
I feel like for her though, it is very much. It's definitely more possible than Michael Myers.
Yeah, definitely more possible.
Start off as a killer.
Yeah, no, like she thinks what she's doing is like a good thing, and like I, respect that.
I'm gonna give this a straight 5.
Really interesting.
Yeah. I don't think it's. I don't think it's like you said. I don't think it's the worst. Like out of all the other killers and probably the ones we're going to talk about today, I don't think they're like the worst. But again, this is a lot. You have to factor in the illness. You have to factor in being like the killer. You have to factor in where you're at for audacity, for how audacious this is. And I think middle of the road, this is an average 5.
I say 3.
I'm going to give it a 3 as well.
Only because, like, kind of like you brought up before, like her commitment is to like her religion as well. So like, would she you'd have to I feel like you'd have to be pretty audacious to think that she'd care about
that's
getting
very
down
true.
with you.
All right. Now for parental approval, would our Christian immigrant parents, if we were able to escape this world, we probably won't, but if we were able to escape and bring our killer home, would our parents approve of this person? I'm going to say a solid maybe.
I was also going to say solid. Well, would God? What's the God?
Oh, you know what? It's Babylonian. They're Babylonian gods. So there's several. So they're definitely polytheistic. So that is an immediate problem because they're like, Jesus Christ is Lord. And they're going to be like, there's several gods. And be like, get out.
Her gods came before Jesus, probably. So I don't know.
Yeah.
And then if she's also a killer, then as soon as my parents say Jesus is Lord, she might slaughter them. 7.
So as long as some of them have belief, I think some parents certainly can skirt it a little bit. God, I don't even know. Like, she's sickly, but she's like a nurse, but she works at a worshiping building, not necessarily a church, but you don't have to know that.
Yeah.
And she has not to like make it about her being humanoid, but like there could be certain things that we could work out for sure.
Yeah. That's like, this is one that you can probably lie effectively with. There are monsters you can't lie effectively with. This one you can. You can make some concessions. You can make some things. I think this works. I'm gonna stick with my 7. Calamity, what do you think?
Yeah, that's gonna have to be a 1 purely because she's female and my parents would straight up be like, no. Because of how they perceive me.
It's not just me this time.
They would straight up, like, it would have to be like, oh, this is my friend from college coming over for Christmas dinner. And that's, that's not, And then the whole religious thing, like, no. The open, if she's wearing this outfit, definitely no.
Oh, yeah.
It's just it comes in with the incense. No.
Yeah.
Like, my parents barely let my cousin's service dog into the house for the holidays. So,
damn.
I feel like it's going to be a 1 for me personally in my situation.
Yes, for sure. I went back to see what I rated the Kuchisake Onna just so that I can keep myself in check. Because in MFA, we love transparency.
We do.
I guess to be fair, the Kuchisake Onna is not riddled with disease, but she is actively murderous.
Yes.
I think this is a 4.5. I'm going to go the midway between the two things that I was thinking.
Okay. I think that's fair. Again, this is a lot. I think this is all these killers are going to be very audacious to bring around. I think genuinely. I think it's going to be a problem. And so bringing them home, being audacious with them and then bringing them home to your parents is going to be like, I don't expect them to go past like a 6 or a 7 if we're giving genuine answers. I'm not giving genuine answers, but the next ones, yeah. So with that, we've gotten our scores. It's time for Joe to add them all up so we get our overall scores. So we're going to pause for a man.
Murder.
Actually, let's work to the generator. I think the killer's coming.
Oh yeah, let's work on this generator.
Yeah. Make the sounds. Get the sounds. Get the Foley sounds, Kez.
Make it blow up and then be like, Cleric, it's all your fault. Now the killer knows where we are.
Welcome to the Editor Space. I'm Kez, your editor, your producer, and this is the part of the show where I talk about the parts from outside of the show, such as our wonderful Ko-fi members who have helped support the show. Thank you to Skilled Not Sane, Akima, Daydori, and Funzo Surawali. You can find us anywhere on the internet that matters under the name Monster Lover Pod, and I'll list some of those places for you right now. You can find us on Ko-fi, where we post semi-regular behind-the-scenes updates to keep listeners informed of what it is we're doing, and paying members get access to the ranking chart that shows all the monsters we featured on the show and how they stack up against one another, which typically get released a day or so after an episode is released. Members also get access to episode outtakes, which I'm working on for these return episodes. And if you just want to reach out to us and talk to us, we're on Twitter, we're on Tumblr, and we're on TikTok, all under the same name, Monster Lover Pod. If you feel so inclined and have the time, we ask that you head over to podchaser.com, search the name Monster Lover Pod, and leave us a rating and a review. We want to grow the show, and I've heard that good ratings make it easier to convince people to listen to something, so it would really help us out, and I would really appreciate it. If you use the Spotify mobile app, you can vote for today's most viable bachelor by heading to the show notes. In the previous episode, Monster House took the winning audience vote. I won't pretend I like it, but I'm happy for Cleric. Also, MFA is going to PAX U. In December, Cleric and Joe will be hosting a tournament bracket for the best monster lover. There isn't much to say now. We're just really excited about the news. And there'll be more details to come later on. That's all for now. Enjoy the rest of the episode, and have a happy Halloween when it rolls around.
All right, Joe, we've moved to another generator. Can you tell us the scores for the plague?
Oh, shit. Yeah, I can.
do you mean? Oh shit! Did you forget what we were doing?
I forgot what we were doing.
Oh,
What is this? What is this episode? What is this podcast for?
Wait, what are we? What are you?
Cleric, your average score for Plague is a 6.
Nice.
My average score is a 4.9, and Calamity's score is a 4.3, which leaves Plague at a solid 5.1.
I mean, that's literally above average, so I'll take it.
By 0.1.
By 0.1. Listen, the points matter.
Specifically 0.06, but we round up because we're stupid.
Yeah, we're dumb. Well, gamers, that's the Pessimistic Plague wrapped up in one. Calamity, are you ready to talk about your killer?
I am quite ready. So the killer that I have chosen is Pyramid Head. Pyramid Head is a 7-foot-tall, hulking monstrosity that stalks the fog. He drags around a great knife with his thick, muscular arms, a large pyramid-shaped helmet covering his face. Once committed to stalking the corridors of Silent Hill, he is now bound to a new duty in the fog, dealing out punishment and pain as he pleases. So I purely chose Pyramid Head because muscly arms. I probably have no actual... I'm not expecting this to do well. I truly just... The first time I saw him in this game, I just stood there and let him pick me up and put me on a hook. And I was like, this is honestly,
sometimes
this is what I wanted.
Sometimes, again, I'm always an advocate for this. Sometimes you need a muscly person to come up, pick you up right by the neck and just slam you against the wall and just say, you're mine.
You're dead.
Indeed.
You're dead.
Yeah.
And I think that's hot in a way that not many things can describe,
Agreed.
So what's with the pyramid? I know this is a Silent Hill antagonist technically, or killer or monster.
Yes. I guess, I don't know. Like the creator of Pyramid Head just kind of wanted his face to be concealed and came up with this. There's really no rhyme or reason to it. Just really wanted him to have a covered face to make his appearance scarier. So purpose-wise, I don't think there actually is one. Aesthetic. Yeah, it's pure aesthetic, which, I gotta respect an aesthetic. He's a guy who knows what he wants and the kind of energy he wants to put out. And I guess I just respect that. He's also very muscular.
Yeah. He's tall.
He's 7 feet tall.
Here's the thing I imagine with Pyramid Head, which is, again, I haven't played Silent Hill. And I know there's a bunch of Silent Hill fans who are going to go fucking, feral in the comments being like, you're missing out on this piece of the lore, in which case, shut up.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. You have complaints? Leave them in the drafts. So,
there you go.
With Pyramid Head, the personality I'm imagining is just this, your silent himbo. Not even a silent himbo, just your silent, boyfriend or person who comes up to you and kind of just is smooth with their body language. Their body language just tells you what there is, what they're doing. But it's so physical, and the sex, man is gonna ravage you. He's gonna fucking pick you up, throw you down, beat your cheeks like ain't nothing been done before. Yeah. Spread them, grip them, and rip them.
Oh god.
Is it weird that I can also see him bringing you breakfast the next day? I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I could also see him being here's doesn't say anything, just kind of hands you a plate of bacon and eggs. And
he doesn't talk, right? He just kind of growls.
He doesn't talk. He kind of grunts and growls, and that's pretty much it. And honestly,
I just noticed there's breathing. You can listen to them breathing.
Honestly,
not bad.
If he's grunted in bed like that, I know he's going hard. I know his dick is big. I know it.
There's no way. It's gotta be.
So I'm also linking pictures of, I guess, there's a design in Silent Hill where he has a tongue.
Huh?
There's just kind of a tongue.
Oh, what?
Hey, yo.
Which is an interesting choice. But I have been appreciating all you monster fuckers know, tongue fucking, big tongue, big long tongue fucking. That is certainly an appeal. There's something to that.
It's good.
Maybe, wow. is very phallic. It's more phallic than I was expecting.
Jesus, he can just fuck you with his tongue.
Yeah, it doesn't even need to remove the pyramid. Honestly, it could probably just,
God, his head game must be crazy.
Right?
Speaking of sloppy head.
Speaking of sloppy head.
He kills you and chops your dick off. and that's
wow. Shout out. This is the sloppy head episode, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to the sloppy head.
Shout outs. Ooh, gotta go.
might not be a good one for mine, but we'll get to that.
Yikesters.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I mean, is there any personality thing?
So there are some depictions that kind of show that he helps the protagonist in some cases. But helpful. Generally he is bound to a duty by whoever he is serving at the time in Silent Hill versus Dead by Daylight. But he kind of like does his own thing. If he feels like something is not what he wants to do, he's not going to do it. So he has some of his own, I guess, I can't think of the word, but he does his own thing if he really wants to. Then I guess just deals with the consequences later, I guess. I don't know. But other than that, he's just kind of, I did read a description that says he deals out punishment to those who deserve it.
Okay, well, Brat Tamer.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
We got that going for us. Very dom. In general, I'm not down for male doms, but who knows what's going on with Pyramid Head?
We truly don't know. What if? Oh my god.
Gender?
Yeah.
What is a gender?
There's nothing there's nothing that indicates that there might be a few indications of him prescribing to masculinity, but who knows?
Who knows? Who really knows? I'll know. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. So I think talking about possibility, not only is he from Silent Hill, the Silent Hill IP, but he also gets dragged by the entity into Dead by Daylight world. And was he willing to, or did he? It says there was an unspoken agreement in that moment. The billowing cloud was an invitation to duty and sadism, and Pyramid Head, taking a step into the fog, accepted his obligation once more. So he's like, there's kind of a service top aspect to this as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There is. He wants to make sure that everything's good. He wants to. I just imagine him fucking raw dogging.
Okay.
Right?
Cleric is erect right now.
Sorry, kids. We pause the recording. Oh, fucking. I like it's the service top aspect. He looks like he's a dude, but I also, again, there has to be some form of communication. He's just not going to talk to you while it's happening, which kind of sucks. Like it's just going to be silent.
Does there need to be talking?
As a sexual partner, it seems like if he can communicate with fog, like weather, and like just otherworldly entities, there's probably some. I think the body language of a maskless person, I think there's generally, a masked person, I feel like there's generally more aspects to their own design that gets accentuated. Calamity,
yeah.
Are you
sorry?
Yeah.
I saw some fan art that almost took me out.
If you Google sexy pyramid head, which is what I did earlier, it's like, okay, wow, yeah. Let's actually...
I don't know if I'm allowed to post
activated.
this in our.
Post it. Whatever, you're good.
Let's see.
You're fine.
Let's see.
You could post literal dick, and I'd be like, yeah, that's reasonable.
That makes sense. Yes, agreed.
I am loving all the femme pyramid head shit.
All the femme pyramid head shit is so good.
Pyramid head.
Oh, yes, please.
So everyone is on board with pyramid head being like not only
he's got cum gutters.
Not
Mommy,
only kicked
honestly,
just huge.
Yeah.
Wasn't there something? So many weaklings just take away the ass.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Overwatch Reaper from Overwatch, ass taken.
R.I.P. It's a shame.
It's a shame.
They kind of kept his.
I feel like they did. Yeah.
Which I appreciate.
We're all just kind of looking at Pyramid Head Rule 34, but
let's jump into the Papa Scope.
Don't mind us.
Possibility with we're talking. In my opinion, I think communication wouldn't be that much of an issue. But certainly there's murderous, but there isn't so much the aspect that literally touching his body, like slowly kills you or whatever. But he is a sadist, wants to inflict punishment. Are you surviving when you have sex together?
Well, I think
who knows?
It's also the question of like, what is his motivations? Like, how possible? Like, his motivations are like, if his motivations allow for you to even be able to like hit him up like that, then it's fine. But if it's just like he's senseless killing for, like we said, like for the plague, like
is he doing it for the entity fucking you and then killing you? Like, does he have an MO kind of?
He's giving me true neutral. Like, he doesn't really want to particularly, I don't know. It's like, he's like, oh, if you let me do what I want to do, like, I'll hang. And I feel like that's a situation in Dead by Daylight. He's like, I get to punish people. Great. You get happiness out of that. Cool. We have an agreement. Let's go.
What is his desire to punish? Like,
I don't know. It just says he's a sadist, and it's always been like his duty. It is said that he is created in Silent Hill from the characters like feeling internally that they should be punished for.
Like I see that he's like a guilt overseer, like kind of. Okay.
Okay.
Is this someone that makes you like will just guilt trip? Is this also maybe that situation?
That would be terrible. If he's like an actual personification of our guilt, then I'm going to feel guilty being with him. I'm going to feel guilty being around him. And if he's going to like guilt me into doing things, I don't want to do that. I'm going to give this, okay, let's stick with possibility. I'm going to give this possibility about a 5.
I was going to say 5 as well.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, honestly, if I like was actually in this situation, like Pyramid Head is probably not that into me. And you know what? That's fine. I'm okay with that. So 5 actually sounds about right. I feel like if he felt like it, he could.
Yeah.
But meh.
Because he's like, he kind of is a universe hopping, because like Silent Hill is like a state of mind or something. And then like a dream world, and then Dead by Daylight is like a whole other thing. So 5s across the board. Attractiveness.
Gosh,
9.
12.
Yeah, exactly. We can give 110 out. So if this is your 10, Calamity,
this is my 10.
This is
my 10.
9. Absolutely.
9.
Cake.
There's nothing.
Cake.
This personality is why I don't give a 10, because if he is actually the personification of guilt and he actually guilt me into shit, that's fucking wild. But
the sadist Punisher, though,
that's hot.
Not a bad.
I, again, am imagining him hitting it from the back and then using his giant tongue to, like, get in your fucking ear or some shit, or, like, lick the back of your neck. That shit's wild.
Nice.
Yeah, you, like, wouldn't even have to talk. I feel like you wouldn't even have to talk.
You wouldn't. Yeah. So 9. I think
there's an understanding.
Yeah. And having a bodily, like a physical understanding as well as a communicative one.
That's so nice.
That's powerful.
That's powerful.
It's powerful. Wow. Okay, audacity.
If this is the personification of guilt,
the Punisher.
This is you gotta be pretty audacious.
Yeah. I'd say 3 for me.
I was gonna give this a 4. I'll be real.
Why?
Because, again, like, we're doing with the aspect that he's a pure neutral, that maybe you can have these conventions. But if this is, like, fucking your guilt, that's a lot. I don't think it's impossible. It's not like, oh, no, it's not. I don't think it's impossible, but I don't think it's that, like, I don't think it should go above average. So I think a 4 is fair.
So you mentioned fucking your guilt. Would that maybe be you conquering it?
Well, no, I think because the guilt isn't. I'm not topping Pyramid Head. Pyramid Head is a hard top.
That's fair.
I'm not topping it.
I wouldn't dream of it.
So unless I top Pyramid Head in this rare occasion, I'm not fucking my guilt. My guilt is fucking me.
Right.
Yeah.
I do think this is less audacious than the plague, just because of just like many factors. So I'm gonna echo 4.
Okay.
And finally, parental approval. If we came with Pyramid Head to our parents' place, would it approve?
I can't even fathom it. I can't even fathom this.
This is a 1. I'm gonna be so real. Not only is it a man, but there's no way. He doesn't wear a shirt. His tongue is just out. It's a giant pyramid head. There's no way. And he's not going to talk. He's not going to talk to my parents. And then they're going to feel guilty by him just being around. This is a 1. Genuinely, I don't think there's any way. There's just no.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know how to make the argument for more than a 2. But even then, I don't even know if 2 is right.
2, I like 2 is a genuine stretch, but I get it. If you want to do a 2, I'm not gonna like actually like get mad. But I just can't see anything past that. Like just genuinely.
Yeah, I think this is a 1 as well.
I'm going to say 2 because of the reason I gave Clegg a 1 is because in my parents' eyes, at least I'm bringing home a man ? They would probably say he's a man. They'd be like, well, at least that.
Just get a picture of him from like the tits down and be like bodybuilder. You could just that's possible.
If I did that, if my parents didn't actually have to meet him and this was all like, this is my new partner, and I just like took a picture chest down, they'd be like, good for you.
Be slang and get
cool.
My mom would probably be like, nice.
Rocking pecs.
Rocking pecs. My mom does not talk like that.
Is your mom British?
I don't know.
Rocking pecs. The Queen would approve, darling.
Okay, before more people become British, we're going to pause for math.
Well, let's go to another generator and pause for math.
Oh my gosh.
So, Joe, read out our scores.
All right. So for Pyramid Head Cleric, we dropped down to a 4.8 average. I also have a 4.8 average.
Twins.
And Calamity has a 5 average, which gives us again, pretty solid 4.9 average for Pyramid Head.
Wow, we are just skirting the average. Oh.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
This next one, I don't know how y'all feel about it, but it definitely, as if we're talking sloppy head game, this might not be the one.
Okay.
I'll be talking about the Dead by Daylight killer, The Artist. The Artist, or Carmina Mora, is a killer engulfed in fog and crows. Her hands were cut off, replaced by a black, shape-shifting ooze, and her tongue was ripped out, leaving her only with a high-pitched squawk. Despite this, her grief for the death of her younger brother and her friends speaks for her. Now, her summoned crows slow survivors down with their violent beaks, providing her advantage to down them completely from a distance. So I feel like it was truly between the artist and the spirit. And what the thing in common we have right now is women scorned. We love angry women that have violent tendencies and commit crime, and that's okay. The thing with the artist is, like I said, her hands are shape-shifting ooze that summon crows, and her tongue was cut out. What happened in her story is that she's Chilean, and I'm not sure I think considering the state of Chile at the moment, her story involves her being a part of a radical art performance group that a corrupt politician took a hit out on her and cut her hands off and ripped her tongue out, and was like her whole sort of what carried her through the grief of losing her younger brother, who was like the only family that she loved, as well as her performance art friends, that was taken away from her by not the inability to do art and poetry and like all of these things. The thing is, I'm afraid of birds.
Okay. Yeah. We've talked about this before.
So it is an interesting thing. Also, Cleric, you don't like wings.
I don't like wings.
It is an interesting thing.
Yeah, that's true.
It is an interesting thing to see what we can do about a potential lover who screams. She doesn't talk, she screams. She can't help that. But also summons crows at will.
So, first, I want to say that is a Latin brethren. So, immediately gets high marks for me.
Mm-hmm.
She can do no wrong. She is una prima. She's one of her little family. Bless up. 2 is screams. That just makes the experience hotter. Listen.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
And 3, that means she can turn her hands into a fleshlight, and her hand job.
That's not what that is. Absolutely not what that means.
Her hand job's gotta go.
What it means?
Her hand job's gotta go crazy.
I mean, if you look at sort of the animation of like her she has hands, but it's like ink. Like there's ink kind of like dripping all the way down her. She has very bird-like body. Like,
oh, you could still get sloppy head from that. She fill her mouth with ink. Boom, bang, boom. That's still sloppy.
She doesn't have
head.
a tongue. She doesn't have a tongue.
You don't have to have tongue for a sloppy head.
Okay.
You fill your mouth with ink. Go in.
Ink and cheeks, inner cheeks, and then there you go. Sure.
Yeah. Listen, theme's on point. I'm not losing the theme today. That's the
My
real
mistake.
That's the real
That's my
theme. It's
bad.
not Dead by Daylight. It's sloppy head.
It's what we had.
The actual theme today.
The actual-
Head by Daylight.
Guess
Yo.
what? Title name figured out for this episode.
I mean, yes, actually,
Pretty
yes.
solid.
It's
actually,
literally the title.
I love that. So good.
I mean, she is, I think her difficulty rating is moderate. Yes, it is. Her gameplay is just it's really fascinating because she's a ranged. I think so far, I think the Plague is also fairly ranged.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her range is interesting because her friendship with the crows, like the crows helped her in a moment where she was about to like commit suicide. And this theme of like shared grief and allowing this woman to grieve and also grieve things that she's lost, like herself. It's all just like such a wonderful meaning. And like crows are very smart animals. And like even though I'm scared of birds, I can respect crows. I forgot what I was going to say, but she's cool.
Yeah. Okay. This is what I'm imagining her personality. She's someone who appreciates art. You know that. Like she's probably, if you go to her place, she invites you over. She has art all over the walls. There's some like a bunch of bird cages. She's probably gonna be a bird lady. So if you don't like birds, it's a immediate thing. I grew up with birds. I'm very much accustomed to birds. So like having a whole bunch of birds has never been a problem. So like I can be there. You just got to make sure you treat all that. Like I feel like she's gonna be this like. I don't want to say like this dom like top kind of vibe, but it feels like she's like dominate. You know, I feel like she is. Like
I think she needs to be taken care of. I think for sure. Like she's had to take a lot of responsibilities in her hands. Like her dad fully neglected her younger brother in a moment, and her younger brother ended up dying because of that. And he put the blame on her. And her friends died because of, quote unquote, because of her. Like she views all of these deaths because of her. And if someone just fucking told her, just take a break,
Yeah. I would want her to be a pillow princess and be like, hey, listen, let me make sure you're good. And I think she'd appreciate that. I think she'd like that. I think that would be a very beautiful experience. But you have to also get used to birds watching you while you fuck.
Yes, like your cat's watching you have sex or something.
These birds are while you're like going, like I'm fucking hitting it from the back, and a bird flies on my shoulder, just like cawing in my ear. It's like, yo, come on.
Yeah.
Calamity, what do you feel? How are you feeling about that?
Yeah.
So I think she's hot. I think she's just fine as hell. Love like the black eyes, just the blacked out eye. I always think is like a really hot thing. Yeah, I don't know. She's just like looks wise, love it. I am more of a brat pillow princess. So the vibe is like nice, but I guess it wouldn't be like my top. Like
totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Totally, like I'm like, yes, okay, fine. Like I could see us, like I could see me dating her. Right. Yeah. I could see me dating her for sure. But like in a like physical hookup-y kind of way, like I don't know.
Yeah, not really anything super.
I think she likes art.
Yeah, I feel like she'd take you to museums for art pieces that I wouldn't understand. Like this is like she would like take me to experimental art shows, and I'd be like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I'm here for you, I guess.
She would totally take you to a Marina Abramovich like performance art.
Yes,
Marina, one of Marina Abramovich's pieces was like, she was like blindfolded and naked, and then she had like a bunch of like knives and guns and like and also just like non-lethal items with which the entire audience could like touch her body with. And it was almost about to get to a really bad point when someone picked up the gun. And that was part of that was part of the art performance. Like, that's definitely the type of intensity that Carmina probably likes.
And I feel like she brings that to her, like, into her personality. Like, she would be having that intensity and that artistic, like, while, like, just, like, existing with you, which I don't know if I could handle. I grew up with artists. Artists is, like, in the blood. I don't know if I could handle that in a relationship or in just being with, like, somebody. Like, I don't know if I could do it. I don't know.
Carmina has used blood for ink before.
Oh, 100%. There's this thing that I think about very often. Like, I saw this. There used to be a show on Bravo known as like America's Next Top Artist, where these people would compete. Like, you'd have to make these nail art pieces and like in this crazy stuff. And I remember this so vividly because it turned me off to art so much. Which was some guy was painting and he used all his bodily fluids as his canvas, and then he started painting it. Like, he used some of his blood, he used a little bit of the ink, but he was like, I really gotta get intense with it. And they filmed him taking the photo, going to the bathroom, and then coming out with fucking semen on the painting. And he won.
I didn't think it was semen.
And he won. I didn't think it was semen either. He said it, and he was like, yeah, I think I need to I need to put myself on the canvas. And he did that. And he won. He won that competition. And I was like, I can't do that. If I saw that in a fucking like art show, I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm like, that's weird, dog. You're weird. I get it. It's art. You're weird. And if she took me to that art show and then I was like, let's have sex, I'd be like, I need to think. I need to reevaluate my fucking where my life is at. I need to figure this out.
We need to call it a work.
Yeah, we're not having sex tonight. I need to call my parents.
Carmina wants to play. Carmina is very much like me. She wants to play the LARPs, the TTRPGs, where you are acting out truly heinous things, but for the art.
For the art. You just made a really good point, Joe. I think Carmina is too much like me. And that's where I'm kind of like, and I don't mean like I'm a tortured artist. Yeah. Like, I feel like that's a similar, I don't know. I think we're maybe a little too similar personality wise.
Like, someone that has like had a hard time standing up for herself sort of is now fully able to do that. There's probably not a lot that she budges on in terms of other people's opinions.
Yeah.
Which is fair.
And I respect that.
You kind of have to live in her world, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think with these realizations, we should hop in for the last time to the Papa scale.
Yeah, let's hop in.
Let's do it.
For possibility, again, with the assumption that we are in the Dead by Daylight, like where we are right now, in the Dead by Daylight, like Red Forest area, being chased by her. I don't think it's that possible. I feel like she's got a lot of anger and a lot of hatred in her heart right now that she's not open to the possibility of love or possibility of having sex with you. I don't like, you have to do real convincing. Like, you'd have to say like my favorite piece and like say something that she might recognize. It's like, And I don't know art like that. It's not gonna be, I'm gonna give this a 3, to be honest. I don't know. Physically, listen, attractiveness it's gonna balance this out, but like for possibility, I gotta give this a 3.
I think in terms of she has a body that you can actually interact with.
This is true.
Yes.
And I think with the crows, to a degree, they are still part of her body, and the way that her crows range throughout an entire map. Crows she can hit people through walls if her crows are already following a survivor. So that feels fairly accessible to me. And if Pyramid is a 5, I think the artist is a 6 for me.
That's fair. You know what? I get that.
Yeah, I'd have to give possibility, I'd say a 6, and it is knocked down because I do agree, like, she's angry. She is not happy right now. Like, she is out here living her best life, and I respect that, but I feel like she would not give 2 shits about me.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. If you're not art enough, then what's the point?
You know art? Name 5 artists.
Name 15 from this year, yeah.
Name 5 influential artists in this art like time piece. And I'm gonna be like, I don't fucking know, dog. I just think it's
I don't know. Yeah. Attractiveness?
10.
9. 10.
Listen, that is a Latina queen.
Okay.
I have to give it a 10. That is my.
You're right.
Fair. I'm gonna say an 8 purely because of the whole like not so much a dom type.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
I'm gonna have to give it an 8. Otherwise, completely down. I think she's hot as hell.
Absolutely fair. Audacity. I think this is pretty audacious. I think I have to keep it with it. Like, this is, again, pretty audacious. Like we said, got a lot of hate in her heart, got a lot of crows. If you don't like
Is
birds...
it as audacious as Plague and Pyramid Head, though?
No. I will say no. Pyramid Head is, again, fucking your guilt. And the Plague is she's dealing with, like, a lot of disease that you have to, like, be... Like, you have to go with... Like, genuinely, if you're trying to fuck the Plague, you need a hazmat suit. Just straight up.
Yeah.
This is a normal person that you could at least walk up to.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a mistake to walk up to her? Yes, she will kill you. But it's not as audacious. I'm gonna give this. I gave the other two scores very low, like a 3 and a 2, right? I think
you gave Pyramid 4, Plague 5.
I think I'll give this a 6. I genuinely think that like a 6 to a 7 is very reasonable for this one.
It's a 6 for me.
I am going to say 5 because like halfway makes sense because she's one of those people that has like, you got to get in with her friends first. She's got those crows. Are the crows gonna let you get close? I don't know. Like, even if she's kind of like, I don't know, maybe like the crows, I feel like may sort of not let you get too close to her. Honestly, you probably have to get past the crows before you get to her. So I'm going to give it a 5 just for that. Like she's got a posse you got to get past first.
True. All right.
Say 5.
Parental approval. Would our parents approve if we brought the crow home? For me, I have to say it's a stronger maybe. Because this is a woman. My dad likes birds. She is Latina, so I will be okay. Those 3 factors bring it up a 1, 2, 3. I'm going to give this a 4.
Oh,
1 point because I just want it.
Yeah. I mean, you can walk up to her. She has no sclera.
She can't.
But, well, I mean, she's all sclera.
Also, she can't talk. She can only squawk as a bird. She's missing her hands, which are jet black. But you can make the argument.
It's not even that just she can't talk. She squawks.
True.
You can make the argument that her hands are gloves, but when they fluidly like
special effects. Yeah. Special effects, girlfriend.
Yes.
My mom's an artist, so I feel like to a degree there could be something shared there. Honestly, 4 does make sense, but I'm gonna give this a 5.
Parker's Calamity.
This is hard because I want to give her a higher score, but she identifies as a woman, and that is complete disown level for my parents. I'm gonna say a 2 because, well, maybe because like she's slightly more clothed than
yeah.
But yeah, that's gonna have to be a 2, sadly, because my parents gonna suck. But anyway, yeah, that's gonna be a 2.
Sweet. All right. So with that, for the last time and for the last generator that we have to fix before we have to book it to the open door. If I remember,
we have to book it to the door to open it. Yeah.
Yeah. For the last time this episode, Joe, let's fix this generator and pause for math. Janitor repair. Fuck me.
Genitals.
Right. Genitals are repaired. The generator's fixed up. Joe, we're running to the door to open it. What are the scores as we're running?
All right. So for the artist, the last time, Cleric's average is a 5.8. Nice. Mine's a 6.8, and Calamity is a 5.3, which gives the artist a 6.
I'm fine with that. I like that a lot. So that's pretty good. I like her. She's fine. I get it. All right. We're at the door, opening it up. Joe, what's the rankings of their scores for this episode?
So at 3rd place is Pyramid Head with a 4.9.
Reasonable. I get it. Again, Pyramid Head.
Too powerful.
Yeah.
Cake's too strong.
Can kill you with his ass.
Not that we're saying that he's not hot. He's just not the best fuckable option.
Yeah.
And then for 2nd, we have Plague for a 5.1.
I wish he was higher. I wish he was, but you know, it's how the cookie crumbles, or in this case, how her band.
It's how the leprosy lepers. And for our 1st place, I think it's been a second since I've gotten a 1st place.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a hot minute, really.
We have a 6 total for the artist, Carmina Mora.
All right, Joe, you win this episode. I like it. Congrats.
Thanks. Say it like that.
Well, I mean, I think I have the highest win streak so far. The amount of monsters that have won. So enjoy it while it lasts is all I'm going to say.
Okay, all right.
Yikes.
All right, doors are open. Let's sprint on out. Killer's about to murder us. Any closing thoughts as we run to the forest? First, Calamity.
Whoa, hey. So as I said before, I'm Calamity. If you want to find me, I'm PrincexX, Calamity all over the interwebs. I do a lot of different stuff. I create content. I perform in tabletop things. I make video games, and I make tabletop games actually now. And around the time this comes out, I, fingers crossed, will be releasing the alpha for my first tabletop game. Fingers crossed. So hopefully that's happening in October. If not, maybe November. But I'm aiming for October to get that released. So you can find information about that on my Twitter or my Ko-fi, either one. But yeah, that's kind of like what I've got going on. But yeah, otherwise you can just find me playing video games and crying over hot fictional people. So yeah.
Word.
Nice. Joe, closing thoughts?
Sometimes it is worth getting a UTI.
I don't even know what the fuck to do with that, dog. I'm gonna be real with you right now. I don't even know what to do with that.
If you stick your dick in the plague, you're getting something.
And I'm okay with that.
True.
All right. Yeah. So as we sprint into the forest, my closing thoughts. Let's hit it with a bye.
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 Beautiful.
Kaz, I'm sorry for that bit of aggression earlier. That's my bad. I was feeling some type of way. I'm not that sorry, but you know.
Are we back in?
No.